because that's really what it boils down to. You don't want to be honest about what's going on because you have this harbor guilt about how you contribute or your history has contributed into why you even have to have this conversation with the Black child.
I agree. And can I add one last thing real quick, Anton, is that I agree with you, but I also think white people, they'll act like, they're with the whole CRT stuff. And like, at least a few years ago, there's a lot of white people who act like they have good intentions, but they're honestly bigoted. It's the soft bigotry of low expectations, where I think they actually are trying to have a white savior complex. And I think they're being more racist than anyone else when they act that way. But go ahead, Anton. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think they should leave all Black babies and let them be for the streets.
What the fuck?
There you go. No. I'm not going to sit here and qualify myself to be in a position to give somebody an opportunity or to give a kid an opportunity. Cool. I agree with you. Let them raise their kids. Let them put their resources into their own and to people that look like them, and leave the rest of y'all to be able to figure it out and fend for yourself. There's your solution. You ain't got to worry about sitting here trying to guilt shame somebody into qualifying themselves to be in a position to be able to give somebody an opportunity who obviously their parents abandoned them or put them in a position to be in that situation in the first place. I'm not going to sit here and qualify myself and say, oh man, am I capable of raising somebody that, what? Any help that they get, any help that you get that you didn't get from your biological parent, you should be thankful for. Anybody that show up for you, that do something that don't owe you nothing, that's all you need is to be thankful for. I can't believe that we sitting here acting like we that blessed and we that privileged to where it's a privilege to be able to raise your head. Get on out of here with you. Okay, well then listen, figure it out. Brenda's got a baby. Figure it out then amongst your own community. The question that we should be asking ourselves is, why is there so many Black kids in foster care in the first place? Not how many people can put themselves in a position to really be able to help them. That's why. And now we got to sit here and say, oh, wait a minute. You got to make sure you acknowledge the Black experience. No, the problem with this culture in the first place is that too many adults are putting their own trauma and their own issues, who they have never, ever really even been through nothing in the first place. They watched a film on slavery, but yet they still doing the worst thing for their own community, yet they want to hold somebody else accountable for putting some resources or giving an opportunity to another kid that ultimately is not going to appreciate them in the first place, because they still going to be standing on this whole blackity black culture in the first place. Yet they was raised in a privileged environment in which they gave you an opportunity. And CJ, I'm disappointed in you, bro. I really am disappointed in you, because you came up here talking all of this Black shit tonight, but you had an opportunity that was given to you based off of somebody that didn't have to do shit for you, and you still talking this Black shit instead of trying to get away from and make sure that we demolish all of this dumbass divisiveness within this culture that's just distracting us from the real issues that's really happening. Yet y'all still leaning on this victim Olympics like somebody owe y'all something. You blessed. You've been blessed with an opportunity that obviously whoever it was that left you wasn't fucking with you. And yet we want to sit here and talk about acknowledging a Black experience. That's a construct. The very idea of saying something is Black and then leaving a connotation of a color, which y'all really don't even understand, is a construct that's given to you and passed down to you based off of the trauma. And yet you don't even acknowledge the very people that sold you into slavery in the first place. And yet we want to hold somebody else accountable because they was the winners. This is dumb as fuck.
I think I'd
be remiss to completely ignore all of the different people, both Black, white, Asian, Mexican, Latino, and all in between, that has given me opportunities or has fought for this country. It's almost like we trying to gatekeep this dumbass cultural dumb experience of trying to be full of trauma. The minute that you stop looking in the rear view and you start looking in front of you in the windshield, you'll be able to drive straight, and you can start leaning on the shit that they fought for. It was both Black and white people that was freedom riders that fought for civil rights. It wasn't just Black people. And they got rid of this shit so that y'all can walk away from it, yet y'all still trying to hold on to it in a way in which you're holding somebody else accountable for raising a child that nobody gave a fuck? Seriously, are we having this conversation about trying to justify the Black experience? What the fuck is the Black experience? We all live in a melting pot. If y'all did a DNA test, you'll realize that you're more mixed than you really are, and yet y'all still lean on the Black experience. And that very thing, in a way that we substantiate whether or not you Black or not, is given to you by somebody that didn't give a fuck about you, and you still using that to qualify whether or not you even label yourself a certain type of way. You a human being. That's it. That's it. You a human.
Yeah.
We all are meant to do the right thing by each other, yet y'all still want to align yourself.
All that is fine and dandy.
Y'all still want to align yourself with something based off of something you can't even control. All y'all doing is perpetuating stereotypical racism in a way that we tried to get away from it historically since the beginning of time. Y'all still dividing yourselves by qualifying yourselves and then making it seem like y'all going through shit when you got the greatest opportunity of some of the most white people in the world across the country and overseas, and y'all don't take advantage of it just so you can still lean in the victim Olympics and still blame somebody else for y'all problems. This shit is old. It's 2024. Ain't nobody stopping y'all and still holding on to this dumbass Black experience. This shit is dumb, man. It's a melting pot. And Quentin, sick of you too, because your ass is dating white women and you still sitting there talking about this Black shit. All of the people up here is doing the same shit that they complaining about, yet they sitting here running in the victim Olympics. He raised by white parents. He date white women.
I'm not white. I date all women, not just women.
Sorry.
So, Jazz, hold on, Jazz. Wait.
Crazy, bro.
Jazz, hold on.
You know what the worst part about it is? It's the very one that's married to the darkest woman that got to sit here and have this fucking conversation with y'all. All of y'all out here fucking everybody.
I just think you're being deliberately.
I'm married to the blackest woman on the panel, and yet I'm the one that's got to have this conversation with y'all. Shit is
Jazz,
let's TJ go first because he addressed TJ.
Jazz, I want to clarify something. So picking Black baby isn't like going to a pet store picking a dog. It's actually a very vigorous process of picking a child that you want to get. And it's a very deep background check before the child's actually awarded to your custody. So it's not like going down to a breeder and say, hey, I want that particular puppy. It doesn't work like that. Contrary to what the movies may say, it's not like that.
No, I'm not saying that's literally how it is, but that whole thing was just a lot, because it's just I understand that we don't want to talk about racism because that means it's going to hold us back, but it's the reality of this country. And it's still, that doesn't mean that we can't excel.
You can't, hold on, wait. You're trying to, nobody said that racism just, go ahead.
Can I finish? When I say you need to make this child aware of who he is in this country, does not mean that we're telling that child that he can never be successful. He has a different reality is all I'm saying. And I don't understand why that's so hard to understand. We know what this is, but I understand people have their different perspectives. People have reached certain points in their life and they feel like racism just ain't never existed. It stopped when Obama got into office and all this, that, and the third. And we're still not fighting. We're still not fighting just to be respected as humans in this country. No, none of that is happening at all. Black children aren't being gunned down by grown-ass white officers. That's not a thing. That's not happening. White officers who are slaying people in the street innocently and getting off, that's not happening at all. There are people. Can I finish, please?
No, go ahead.
There aren't people deliberately going after HBCUs and organizations that provide funding for Black businesses and trying to sue them and dismantle them because they can't get a piece of the pie, because they feel that is racist, when in fact it is actually racist for you to try to stop something with a marginalized group of people that you have claimed that we are. We try to excel and then look at the roadblocks that you put in. All I'm saying is this: we have to be real about what we're saying. when we're living in this country. And if you are a white person and you want to adopt a Black child, all I'm saying is be totally aware of what that experience is like. It's not like yours. It's not like anyone else's. And it doesn't mean that it's a victim. It's a reality. You cannot sit here and you have to talk to your son, your Black son, who a white officer or a white man would deem as an adult. Right? We've seen that. We've seen that before. They don't look at them as a young boy. He's already a criminal before he's even accused of anything. You don't have that experience with your white son. You don't have that experience. That's all I'm saying. And because, like you said, racism will always be here. You said that, Coach K. You're very much so aware.
Yep, because you're very much so racist, Jazz.
Because the system, unfortunately, was
what
built.
System? Point it out to me.
Well, hold on. Let me just add this statistic, because if anybody has been watching a Millionaire Morning Show, I've done the research, and I show it and I highlight it every single day.
So
more police officers get killed by Black kids than Black kids get killed by police officers.
We're not doing that.
Roland Fryer.
No.
You
We are gonna do it, and you know why we're gonna do it? Because you brought it up. Every single day. Name me five. In Chicago, in Utah, all across this country, every single day. Just because it's not promoted to you, don't mean that it's not real.
Name me five white police officers.
Men get killed every single day.
That's bogus. You wrong as hell, and you way too Black to be having this type of platform.
If you don't want to hear the data and the statistics,
it's not even about the data. You're being
all you basically telling me is that you want to stay with your head in the sand so that you can believe.
That's not it.
What you want to believe. You don't want to have the authentic conversation because I've done the research.
That's not it, babe. You're very you've been indoctrinated, babe. You carry out systemic racism and rhetoric. Like they clap at you like, yes, sir, you a yes sir master type right now. The energy is given that, unfortunately. Because to sit here and say white officers get killed. Can you name me 5 officers right now off the top of your head?
There are 4 officers. There are 4 officers.
4 just got gunned down.
4 officers that just got killed in Charlotte about a week ago, and the suspect is a Black man. I know that 2 of the
It's not a suspect. It's the guy that killed them. Listen. Hold on. Shit, hold on, Carrie. She don't want to hear the truth. She don't want to hear
y'all don't want to hear the truth.
See, if we say no. If we say 4 white officers, and that was killed, and 4 additional was wounded by 1 Black man in Charlotte, literally just last week, she throw that out the window and say that no, you just wrong. See, I actually did the presentation on the Millionaire Morning Show. That's how I know these things. Every single day, all last week, the week before, and today, I actually have shown all of the officers that are dying on a regular basis, every single day. And so you want to sit here and act like I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is why it's so difficult for Black people to draw them out of this mindset, because they don't want to listen to facts. They want to listen to feelings. You're wrong as 2 left shoes. You have no clue what you're talking about right now. It's all a mirage in order to keep you thinking the same way that you're thinking, so you can think that we victims, and we not. We not victims.
Stating the facts and the truths about what we have endured and continue to endure is not victimhood. It's stating the facts, Anton. You can, if you aligning with this type of narrative about your own people, and you want to make it seem like racism don't exist, it never have, and we just being victims, you go right ahead. That works for you. But that's your reality. That's your delusion. But the facts are the facts, baby. It is what it is. But I'm gonna let you have it.
Go ahead, CJ.
So media has a major role when it comes to stuff like this. For years, the media was pushing that Chicago was the #1 murder city in the United States. That's not true. Chicago's not even top 10. And
Chicago is top 10, but see, the context is it's per capita.
Because
Chicago is a major city, what happens is they categorize it differently based off of per 1,000 people.
Correct.
So you got to add the additional context because you're wrong. It is one of the most violent cities in the United States of America.
No, I never said it wasn't. I just said it's not top 10. They were labeling Chicago as number 1. It's not number 1 per capita. So again, all this stuff is being pushed by media, and we need to do our research on this. We really do.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. We just got to do our own research on it. That's all. Media is pushing one thing. We need to. All right. I see that they're showing me this. What else is happening though? Like right now, police they're being retaliated against because black people are fed up. I don't agree with it, but the shit is happening.
What? So wait. The Luis guy and the black woman that got killed on their way home from work in the exact same space in Chicago. Literally, they just had a funeral for him last weekend, and they asked Mayor Brandon Johnson not to even come to the funeral. You telling me? And they was on their way home from work, wasn't even in their cruisers, got killed by criminals that ultimately stole their guns, and it's because those young boys, them young thugs, was fed up, and they had already been convicted of other crimes, including other gun crimes. They doing it because they was fed up with the police officers.
I wonder how Tamir Rice or Trayvon Martin.
Yeah. No. Stop. You telling me that the eight police officers that got shot, 4 of them killed in Charlotte last week, that was serving a search warrant for criminals that had perpetuating violence against the very people in our own community. The people that are killing police officers are often at times not first offenders. They the drug dealers, they the killers, they got bodies on their rap sheet. Every single thing that you can think of within our own community. You know what's so fucked up about this conversation is most of us already know how to fix the community. All of us know who the jack boys are. We know who the dope boys are. We know who the killers. We know who the stealers are. We know who the Kia boys are. And we refuse to acknowledge this shit. And we keep on blaming it on a construct. And most of the very ones that they killing in their community are the ones that live in their community. The black woman that got killed in Chicago, the off-duty police officer, she was born and raised in Chicago. They're not fed up. Listen, bro, this is all a lie. You being sold a lie, and you being told this, and it only happens, and all of this shit is promoted around election season. Every 4 years, you get the same shit every single time, and they distract you in order to continue to keep you in this mindset that thinking that you're a victim is bullshit. When you do the research and you start to deep dive on these issues, it's not what you think that it is, but they keep on selling this to you because it's easy to get you to continue to be on this Democratic plantation than having you thinking that you're a victim. You not. It's a reason why black immigrants can come over here and they're way more successful. The majority of the wealth that's generated over here and the people that become millionaires are first-time millionaires, and often at time they're immigrants. Most of the time they're black people. 1,600 millionaires are made every single day in this country, and it ain't the people that's here. And often at times it comes from people that's not even born here. It's a mentality. It's a construct. Free your fucking self, bro. Open up your mind. The minute that you open up your mind, a world of possibilities continue. This is one of the reasons why it's important for people to step outside of their fucking zone, their neighborhoods, they social circles. Go talk to people that don't look like you, that don't come from where you come from. Open up your fucking mind. They selling you a narrative, and it's keeping you down because it's keeping them profitable. All y'all running to make them Olympics, it makes them money. It's a profit. It's a profit generating machine. It's not even a race war. It's a class war.
Anton, when did racism in America?
What the fuck is wrong with us, bro?
Anton, when did racism end in America?
Listen, it's not about whether racism ended. It's whether racism is effective enough to affect you from doing what it is that you want to do on a regular basis.
Okay.
It don't matter. Listen, if that motherfucker over there say, Anton, I don't like you because you black, I don't give a fuck because he has no power over whether or not I'm going to do it tomorrow.
It's not even about
that. It has no bearing on me. I don't care if you feel a certain type of way about me. You have no power over me.
It's not about that. It's not about
it. It is. It's
no,
absolutely
it's not.
about that.
I just don't think
that he was raised in
I just don't think you
think about it. He said he was raised in KKK country. This dude traveled the world. He do what he want to do. Why isn't he affected by where it was that he was raised as far as it stopping him from doing what he want to do? If he was raised in KKK country, like he said, then how come it didn't stop him from being what it is that he is?
And we're Okay, so maybe that's where there's a disconnect. You're very individualistic minded. It's all about you, and what's in proximity to you. I'm thinking of us as a collective and how this country has fucked over our people as a collective consistently. I just brought up the example about how there are organizations that fund Black businesses, specifically for Black businesses, that are being sued by other white organizations just because it's funding for Black people.
Because
But
it's
can you say,
racist to qualify somebody based on a race. That's
what?
literally racism. If you
White
eliminate
people
an
are
opportunity from somebody else
this
based
is
off
my
of
point.
diversity, equity, and inclusion, that's the very
Anton,
definition of
that's
racism.
my point. That's my point.
Racism.
You're saying
To
we're complaining.
promote Black people above other people, and y'all don't even qualify for what it is that you get.
Listen to what I'm saying, sweetheart. This is what I'm saying. There are Black people trying to do the right thing and excel and build and pull one another up. And there are racist blockings that's preventing this to happen. So like I said before, there are Black organizations that want to fund Black businesses, and there are white corporations suing those Black corporations for doing so. Why? Because it's all about being Black and productive and successful. And we all know Black unity is a threat to white supremacy. That's just what it is. So while you're saying that we're all in this victimhood, no, we're trying. We actually are excelling. We have excelled. We're doing great. We're doing amazing in this country. But you cannot sit here and say that there are systemic processes within this country that blatantly stops the overall collective progress of Black people. It's always been this way. It still is. It's coming down. The veil is lifting a little bit, but you can't be so obtuse and not acknowledge that and then try to skip over that and say, but you're not doing this and you didn't experience it. I know what my experience is, but I'm not naive to the experience of my people, and I care. And what it sounds like to me is you actually don't care about your people. You care about profit. You care about money. You care about who's sitting at the table that you can get some knowledge from to make you some more money. You don't really care about how these systems that you align with because it cuts you a check or what have you, how that can negatively affect.
Nothing to do with the conversation.
I'm just saying.
It always comes back down to how much money I got, how much.
Not you. I'm just saying. But I don't know how much money you have, but I know that.
This conversation don't have.
That's not what I'm saying. You don't have to cut me off.
Resources I get.
You don't have to cut me off.
This shit is
crazy. You don't have to cut me off. You don't have to cut me off, love. We can disagree. You don't see it that way. That doesn't make me wrong. You don't see it the way you don't. No, I'm wrong to you because you see it from a different lens, and that's okay. But don't discredit the facts.
Look just like me. Every person that got a check from me or get money.
Don't discredit the facts, gang. If you're gonna be real and you're gonna have a platform like this, don't be obtuse because it works in your favor. And all I'm saying is
what works in my favor? What works in my favor? What table am I sitting in that I'm getting this huge check from white people?
All I'm saying is this. Just from the language you have said tonight in regards to this topic lets me know that you don't really care about what's really going on. You only care about what you care about and how it affects you. And that's okay.
No, you only care about what you care about.
No, I care about what's actually happening and how it affects children and children's children and Black people as a collective. That's all. I see things from a different lens. I have a different understanding of what this country is. You have yours. That doesn't make you any more right than I. We just see things differently, and that's okay.
Okay, you got it. You're right. Listen. I think that there's certain groups of us that need to just separate ourselves from the victims and let them all have each other. Let them have each other. Let them raise their own babies that's inside of the foster care system or as a part of the adoption agencies. Let them all adopt them all, even though ain't none of them actually adopting them all, but they gonna criticize other people that adopt them and actually put resources into them. I've never seen people that ain't doing shit for their own people criticize other people that's doing shit for their people. All of the blackity blacks that I know is broke as fuck, don't plant no money trees in their own communities, don't own shit within their own communities, don't even own the very properties that they sitting there protesting and burning every AutoZone and Wendy's down whenever it's a Black protest. But yet these motherfuckers got more to say about what's happening in the community and the people that's actually putting resources into it. I'm done, bro. Y'all can have it, bro.
Well,
Now do you see why I travel?
no. You travel for other reasons. We're not gonna get into that.
No,
said,
because
them
Anton's
niggas
right.
them out.
Because Anton's right.
Let me.
I do agree with what he just said. I definitely think that, I don't know, Jazz. I see, like, I get the stemming of your passion. At the same time, I just think that it can lead to more detriment than not, because here's my personal experience with people who really want to enlighten me about our Black history, our story. On one hand, I value it because, like I said, I want to know the history. I want to know the stuff. On the other hand, every time I'm talking to, not every time, a lot of times that I'm interacting with a person like that, I walk away angry. Like, I walk away upset, or I walk away, or I feel like they want me to walk away with a position against something. And to me, that leaves people in a real interesting state as it relates to learning how to interact with the world, because the reality is, racism or not, we all exist here. And in my opinion, if you're raising a child to give them so much, because I heard you say, like, even Anton said something like that wasn't either his experience, your experience. You're like, I'm not speaking just for me, I'm speaking for the collective. But if that wasn't your individual experience and you have a child, are you saying pour in, like, let me make sure my kid knows about the Tamir Rices, and not to say they shouldn't know.
Absolutely.
Not to say that, let me finish. Not to say they should not know, but there's a difference in knowing history versus let me let you know what your life is about to be about. You are a Black man. Cops are not gonna like you. Ba 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 ba. Da da da. Like, to
Wait, why do you say that?
Huh?
I mean,
Yeah, I think that. Never mind.
No, but that was a part. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jazz. That was the part that I started to get from you as you were talking, was more so like, you need to really help them to understand what their life is going to be like. And it implied that their life, because they're a Black child or a Black person, is going to be different in a negative or challenging way. And all I'm saying is, left to a child, what you, in a person in general, what you focus on, I truly believe, is what becomes about.
Right.
So it just seemed like you went from, look, if you're going to adopt a child, at least let them know this, to it started to get stronger. Like, no, you need to pour in and let them know that they are up against the world and they are this and they are that. And I just think long term, that has potential to do more harm than good. Whereas, and this is my last thing, I'll let you go, with what Anton was saying, the reason I agree with him is because it seems like he's focused on, we don't need to live in those worlds of, we don't need to live in that space, because really it's barriers. Really it's creating more of an issue than not. If you want your children to have the highest chance of being productive, then why don't you instill in them that nobody can stop them, regardless of race, help them to understand how to interact with other people, help them to understand, like, to me, that was more of his focus. And that's why I agree with that.
Yeah, no. And listen, we may disagree, but I understand where Anton is coming from. I understand where you are coming from. I'm not saying we can't do all that and still educate them on what their position might be in this country. It sucks that we have to have the conversation, but history has shown that there is a different view on Black men and children. And it hasn't really changed, Carrie. And so it is important for us to build up our Black children, build them up with confidence, show them that, no, you will not be defeated. But hey, guess what? Right now, this is the country that you live in, and this is how you need to carry yourself. And you must be exceptional and you must be great, because there's already a target on your back just because you have Black skin, baby. That's just what it is. It doesn't make you less of a person. That's just what America taught us. And that is not a lie. That is an irrefutable fact. And stating the facts, does not mean victimhood. And unfortunately, because things are still happening to this day, we can't say I'm just stuck in the past. No, can't say that, because we're still witnessing very volatile, blatant acts of systemic racism and violence in this country. It just is what it is. We cannot be obtuse. We cannot be oblivious to that fact. That's all I'm saying. Let's build our children up, but not make them naive and unaware that, yes, unfortunately, their experience may be different than their counterparts who are not Black. That's it.
I think that you and Anton were right. Y'all were discussing two different points. I think, yeah, educate them. But I think, are Black people even educating their sons on that? Like, are Black people today, Black parents, are they doing that with their own kids?
What you talking about? They getting them
Black
out of foster
mothers.
care.
No, it's not.
They're in an adoption agency.
Yeah,
we got
so it's
we got the biggest numbers when it comes to Planned Parenthood, but yet we sitting here talking about, complaining about, man, this is crazy, bro.
Kids that have been adopted, been saved.
Calling out the facts is not complaining.
I think it's just all around though. It's not only white people. Like, white people
And
got
my thing is,
hold on, Jen.
know-
It's not only white people that got to teach about the Black culture if they adopt a different race. Black parents need to do it too.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, okay. When is the last time you heard a mom say, okay, if you get pulled over a cop, make sure you put your hand 10 to 2, make sure you know. But are mothers really doing that? Single mothers?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They're not doing that. You know what they're
doing? It.
We already talk about how parents are giving their kids iPads, phones. That's them teaching. That's them teaching. So I think just all in all, like I understand your point, Jazz. At times, Black people, they face things differently. It might be different in corporate America, being a woman, being Black, of course. But, I would rather them still get adopted by loving parents, because let's just be honest. CJ, question to you. If you weren't adopted by your parents, I was going to say my parents, but
the people.
That statement's incorrect, and that article I left in the back.
I didn't even say that.
Yeah, you said getting adopted by loving parents is enough, and it's not. Adopted people are killing themselves and they're drug abusers. Read that article, and it tells about how love isn't enough to raise these adoptive kids, and you need other shit.
It's a lot of variables.
It's because of that one variable, Quinn. Come on.
Also talking about 21 Black kids and their horrible experience.
And Quinn, that's
by the white people.
Of course, I know that. People adopt.
I wonder how this would have turned out for them if nobody had came up. Yo, this is crazy, bro.
That just doesn't make sense. Quinn, of course,
I think that they should let y'all raise yourselves. Listen, if another Black family don't come and get you, then leave them in the system, bro.
Yeah, there's like Quinn. Of course, people adopt.
Francis is gonna have.
And this is why I tell y'all not to become. This is why I tell y'all not to become step baby daddies. It's a thankless job, bro. It's the same as becoming a step baby daddy, except for we reversing it and making it a race issue. It's a thankless job. Don't raise nobody else's kids. Don't pick nobody else's kids that's a different race. Let them fend for themselves. Let them have the Black experience. The real Black experience culturally is what would have happened if they had never adopted them in the first place and left them in the system. That's the Black experience.
Damn.
That's
Let them have that. Let them have that.
Can I ask TJ a question? Because
let them have a real Black experience. Don't go and get them and leave them in the system. Let the system, let their daddies raise them, the federal government.
Single mom.
Let the federal government raise them. That's their daddy. We used to that. At least we know what that's gonna give them. They'll be making our license plates by the time that they 19.
Damn.
And becoming Kia boys. Best case scenario, they can get out of jail, become a rapper, blow up, and then be selling us lyrical crack cocaine.